Hi everyone, my name is Nick, and this week I watched Silo on Apple TV Plus, and I thought I'd give a quick review about it because I did think it was a really fascinating show, and I want to talk more about it. So starting off, Silo is I guess you call a sci-fi. I think they call it like a psychological thriller, but basically it's about this group of people, and they live underground in something that they call the silo, and they don't really know like who was there before them or what the circumstances are to lead them to live here, but they think that there's like some mystery and conspiracy going around. The show stars Rebecca Ferguson mostly, and there's a whole cast of characters too that go with her, and there's some characters that are only in the first couple episodes and some that are mainstays. I think this show does a really good job of creating suspense and creating drama. But I think if you want something that's more for all audiences, or something like if this is your first sci-fi show ever, you may not like it as much. For the pros, I think the acting is really good in this show. I think that all of the characters feel like they have good motives and good intentions for what they're trying to do. For the pros, I think the first episode is really captivating and can really hook you. I think that Rashida Jones has a great performance, and she really, I think, sets the standard for what the rest of it is going to be. I think that Rebecca Ferguson's performance is really great too. I found her character to be really interesting and provided a lot of depth. Overall, too, that the set pieces are really nice. What I mean by that is just that the background and the cinematicness of it all is really interesting to see. With the silo being such a big and grand idea, it can sometimes be hard to determine like what this thing should look like, and I think that the creators and the directors did a really good job of showing what the silo should and does look like. There's a scene where people are going through like this giant area, and I think that's one of the few times that I thought I was a little taken aback because it looked a little too unrealistic to me. But aside from that, the whole thing is very cramped and tight quarters, and I think that's what really sells it for the atmosphere. Common was definitely someone that I didn't expect to like, but I thought his performance was really great. There's some other great performances too in this, and overall I just like the atmosphere of the show. To end the season, I thought the final 3 episodes were basically as best as I could have done. I really enjoyed the pacing of them, the suspense that it was creating, and just the whole atmosphere. I felt like it was really developing into something, and the last 3 episodes of this first season I thought were really great. I think it was when things were starting to come together, and some things were clicking. They didn't resolve every question that I had, but a lot of the questions that I had, they were really doing, I think, a good job of resolving them in a way that I appreciated. And it was something that I didn't feel like it was rushed. I guess a con, though, of the whole show is that it's definitely a slow burn. So if you're not into a slow burn, I would highly recommend not to watch this show. It's something where I think they was given a 10-episode run, and I really think they could have told the story in 7. The middle episodes from basically number 3 to number 6, I thought really could have been condensed. There's a lot of like atmosphere building and a lot of slow burn, but it's really, really slow. I think that a lot of the times that when I was watching it, I just kept thinking like, oh, okay, this episode's an hour long, but I think they had maybe 30 minutes of content. A lot of it was really slow, a lot of moving around, which I think did a good job in the end for me of selling the atmosphere and how big the silo was. But just in the moment, I was kind of like, let's get it going, let's get going, let's get going. And that's something that I hope that just as they keep going with the story, that kind of goes away, so you don't have to really establish the scene as much. There were also some plot devices that I thought were a little convenient at times, but overall it didn't really hurt my viewing experience, and I was still excited to watch. I watched this show in 3 days, so I really did enjoy it. I usually don't like watching stuff like that fast, but this was definitely one of those times where I really was having a good time watching, so I can't complain too much. Something else that I was thinking of is just that because you had Rashida Jones, they were basically the first 2 episodes, and they were so good, and they were like top tier. I thought that even though Rebecca Ferguson, I think, did an amazing job, that the level of acting kind of went down, and it kind of hurt the show because it was like you set the bar so high, you got everybody so hooked, and then it's just hard to follow up on that. Especially Rashida Jones' character, I thought was really awesome and amazing and interesting, and I was really excited to see where they were going to go with it, and I felt like it just ended too soon for me. But that's just more of a personal preference. I just really like Rashida Jones, and I thought she did great. Overall, I would say I really enjoyed this show. If you're someone who's like into sci-fi, I would highly recommend it. I think that it's fun. It's pretty exciting. There is sort of a lull in the middle, but overall, I give this show a 7 out of 10 on my scale. And yeah, that's it. And I hope you enjoyed this review of Silo. Okay, bye.